And when I woke up from the surgery, I was bloated. I was like bigger, you know, from my waist down. And I was more slender than I am today back then. And people who knew me could see that my legs were bigger. Everything was bigger. And I find it very hard to walk. And the surgeon, before doing the operation, told me my birthday was coming up a week or two later after the operation, and said, well, yes, you can have a birthday party. Maybe 2 weeks later, you can be, you will be good, on good form. And I wasn't. So I stayed about 4 days in the hospital. And so finding it very hard to walk, and eventually the bloating came down, but it took a while, maybe a week. And then I was home, and every day I could walk less. It was diminishing by the week. So for 3 months, I could walk from the bed to the bathroom. And that was it. It was going down. So it was very scary. I had to go to France to a family wedding, and I was with taxi, and then I was on a wheelchair, and then picked up by relatives, and they were like, well, just come, we don't care, even if you're on a wheelchair. But it was a very strange feeling to be on a wheelchair. Before the operation, I would do a lot of jogging, a lot of swimming, a lot of yoga, a lot of walking. So I was very fit, very active. And so during those 3 months or 3.5 months, I couldn't bring my children to school, pick them up. I was at home. I couldn't move. And I realized that I went swimming once with advice of people like, maybe it will help you to feel better. And I realized I felt like I was down to about 5% of my abilities from the waist down, but I also felt I was only about 20% of my ability from the waist up physically. So it affected me physically, mentally, emotionally, and the doctors couldn't tell me what was wrong, and made me feel like that I was almost crazy. And I was like, yeah, well, so I looked for other solution, because I was like, well, I'm going to get back on my feet and I'm going to walk. Because I thought, if it continues to go down, like by the week, it was going down until 3.5 months later, it was less and less and less I could do. And so I was very scared. I thought, if that continues, I might end up paralyzed, or what will happen? So my aim was just to be on my feet, just to walk again and bring my children back to school. So like I said, I looked for many things. I did acupuncture, I did craniosteopathy, I think I did herbal medicine, I did various things, until someone told me about, a friend I bumped into told me about a clinic that did spiritual healing. And I was desperate, and nothing that I had done worked. And I thought, I don't believe in spiritual healing, but I really am desperate and I really need help. So I'll give this a go. And so I went to the clinic, and that was my turning point. And the people I met there had something, they were very professional. I was expecting them to be very like new age, airy-fairy, and they were not. They were very professional, and they were very solid. And they had something in their eyes that also like a knowing inside them that really gave me hope. And that was my turning point. From that moment, I only went twice, about a month apart, but that's when I was able to start to recover. to reverse that downward curve. And so then I started, I lived in a flat, in a block, and there was gardens around. So it was maybe 50 or 70 meters to walk around the block. And I started a few times a day to go around that block by doing maybe just one turn of the block. Maybe first accompanied with someone, and then by myself, like maybe 2 or 3 times a day. And I increased, and I kept increasing. And after a month or 6 weeks, I could do maybe 16 or 18 turns of the block without stopping. And then I started going out, but it took me 6 months to be back on my feet and to properly walk again without any pains or anything. And so when I first went to the clinic, what I saw in the healer's eyes, I thought, if I come out of this properly, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of what they have, because they had something that I'd never seen in anybody else before. Like this solidity, this knowing, this hope, they seem to know exactly where they were in life, and they seem to know themselves. And so that was the operation was in March. And in September of that year, I enrolled with a school of intuition and healing, where the clinic was, and I started on my journey. And I thought, yeah, this is it. I have to explore this